Hey guys, it's the Ava's Fidget Place, and today I will be reading A Long Walk to Water, chapter 4. I think that's what we're at. Yeah, chapter 4. Sorry I haven't been reading lately. Or actually, we're going to do chapters 4 and 5 in this video because since I've been skipping, I feel kind of bad. So, yeah, we're just going to start with this. Okay. Chapter 4. Oops. Chapter 4. Naya's mother took a plastic container from her and emptied the water into 3 large jars. She handed Naya a bowl of boiled sorghum meal and poured a little milk over it. Naya sat outside in the shade of the house and ate. When she was done, she took the bowl back inside. Her mother was nursing the baby Naya's little brother. "Take it here with you," her mother said, nodding towards Naya's sister. Glancing at her younger sister, Naya did not say what she was thinking. That Naya was only 5 years old, was small and walked too slow. She needs to learn. Her mother said. Naya nodded. She picked up the plastic container and took Agir, I don't know how to say her name, by the hand, home for just long enough to eat. Naya would be able to make her second trip to the pond and back. Nearly a full day of walking all together. This was Naya's daily routine. 7 months of a year. Daily. Every single day. Salva held his breath as he scanned the faces one by one. Then the air left his lungs and seemed to take all hope with it. Strangers, no one from his family. An old woman came behind him and greeted a group. "Where are you going?" she asked. A few of the people exchanged uneasy glances. There was no reply. The woman put her hand on Salva's shoulder. "This one is alone. Will you take him with you?" Salva saw doubt in the people's faces. Several men in front of him of a group began speaking to each other. "He's a child. He will slow us down. Another mouth to feed. It is already enough to find food. He is too young to do any real work. He'll be no help to us." Silva hung his head. They would leave him behind again, just as the others had. Then a woman in the group reached out and touched the arm of one of the men. She said nothing, but looked first at the man and then at Salva. The man nodded and turned to the group. "We will take him with us." Salva looked up quickly. A few in the group were shaking their heads, grumbling. The man shrugged. "He's a Dinka," he said, and began walking again. The old woman gave Salva a bag of peanuts and a gourd for drinking water. He thanked her and said goodbye. Then he caught up with the group, determined not to lag behind, not to complain, not to be any trouble to anyone. He did not even ask where they were going, for the fear that the question would be unwelcome. He knew only that they were Dinka, and they were trying to stay away from the war. He had been content with that. The days became a never-ending walk. Salva's feet kept time with the thoughts in his head, the same words over and over. "Where's my family? Where's my family?" Every day he awoke and walked with the group, rested at midday, and walked until dark. They slept on the ground. Terrain changed from scrub to woodland. They walked along the stands of the sun trees. There was little to eat, a few fruit here, there, always neither unripe or worm rotten. Salva's peanuts were gone by the end of the 3rd day. After a week, they joined by more people. Another group of Dinka, several members of a tribe called Juku. Men and women, boys and girls, old and young, walking to nowhere. Salva had been hungry. He stumbled along somehow, moving one foot ahead of the other. Not noticing the ground, he walked on or the forest around him, or the light in the sky. Nothing was real except his hunger, once a hollow in his stomach, but now deep, buzzing pain in every part of him. Usually he walked among the Dinka, but today, shuffling along in the gaze, he found he had fallen a little behind. Walking next to him was a young man from the Junghu. Salva didn't know much except his name was Buska. As they walked along, Buska slowed down. Salva wondering sluggishly if they were trying to keep up, but the nurse Buska stopped walking. Salva stopped walking too. But he was too weak and hungry, and that's why he was standing still. Buska caught his head in furrowed body. Listening, they stood motionless for several moments. Salva could hear the noise of the rest of the group ahead of them. Then a few faint voices, birds calling somewhere in the trees. He strained his ears. What is it? Jet planes? Bombs? Was it gunfire getting closer instead of farther away? So was fear. Fear began to grow until it was even stronger than his hunger. Then, a slow smile spread over Brusque's face. There, you hear? Salva frowned and shook his head. Yes, there it is again. Come. Brusque came walking. Very quick. Salva struggled to keep up. Twice when Brusque paused to listen. Then they kept going even faster. What? Salva started to ask. Brusque stopped abruptly in front of others in a large tree. Yes. Now we call the others. But now Salva had been caught in a feeling of excitement. But what shall I tell him? The bird. The ones that led me to here. Brusque smiled. You see that? He pointed the branches of a tree. Beehive. A fine large one. Salva hurried up to call the rest of the group. He had heard of this. That the Jugo followed the call of the bird, called the honey guy.